What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Coach Black, your internet, relationship, and breakup coach. Today's topic: stop doing no contact now. Sometimes you must pursue your ex to get them back. Now I know what you're thinking, Coach. That doesn't make any sense. That goes against everything that you said on this channel. I want you to bear with me and trust me. Watch this video. I'm going to explain to you exactly what I mean, and sooner or later after you watch, I promise you will get value from this video. And I'm only making this video because I've talked to probably 3 or 4 people in the last 2 weeks that made the mistakes we're going to talk about in this video. So like I said, sometimes you must pursue your ex to get them back, but let me explain exactly what I mean. And if you do get any value from this, if you appreciate it, if it makes sense for you, please do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future videos that I put out. And without further ado, let's just jump into it. All right, we had a little bit of technical difficulties, but bear with me. Now, let's start at the beginning. Let's start with interest level. So, do you remember what the feeling was like when you first fell in love with your ex? You know, maybe it's the text messages they used to send you, and every time you see their name pop on the screen, you would get giddy, you would get excited because you were looking forward to the time you were going to spend together. Every new date, every new adventure, and all the memories you were creating together. It's almost like this person just fit your life like a glove. You really understand each other, that deep, strong feeling. Now, a lot of times in the beginning of a relationship, it's almost like your mind is on drugs, and there's actually research to back this. And some people call this limerence, and this is a thing. But usually in the beginning, interest level is extremely high. Interest level, let's look at it as your partner's desire to be with you, right? Or your desire to be with your partner. Let's put it on a scale from 0 to 100. In the beginning of a relationship, as things start to build and when you both are really deeply in love and enmeshed with each other, it's gonna be closer to like 70 to 100%. Okay, both parties are invested. You really care about the other person. You're always checking up on them to make sure they're okay. There's a lot of affection. You're spending time together. It's almost like you can't even stand to be away from each other because it almost physically hurts, right? Interest level is usually high in those phases. There's a lot of I love yous. There's a lot of dates. There's a lot of excitement and fun. So what tends to happen over the span of a relationship is that interest level can start to drop. Maybe both parties got complacent. You stopped working on yourself. You stopped doing the things that you said you would do. You stopped going to the gym. You cut off your friends and you started smothering each other. Now, if your ex is an avoidant, naturally that will cause them to recoil or pull back. And if you're more of an anxious, you're trying to pull them in. And so the more you're trying to pull them close, they are losing interest. Or sometimes it's the fighting. You're arguing a lot because you're trying to fix the issues. And your partner might be feeling like this is too much stress. This is too much effort. So interest level starts to drop. It goes from 10 to 8 to 9 and so on. Or 9 to 8. You get the point. But at some point, once it goes below that halfway threshold, 50% or 5 out of 10, then there's that incentive, that desire to stay and work on the relationship, that drive to really be there for each other starts to drop. Now, usually interest level doesn't fall at the same time. Counterintuitively, usually one person's interest drops faster than the other. And it's that person that tends to break up with the other. So if you got dumped, more than likely your partner's interest level was below that 50%. And even though you still care about them and love them, and maybe you're at 70 or 80, for them, the relationship feels like a lot more work because they're no longer getting the things that you are both getting in the 7 to 10 range. Those butterflies, those feelings of, oh, I can't wait till she texts me again, or vice versa. They're no longer feeling those things. And so for them, it's all work, no benefit in their mind. It's all effort and effort to fix. It's all fighting and arguing, and it's all trying to meet your needs when their needs are not getting met. And I'm not saying that this is what you mean to happen. It's just, this is something that's going on inside of them internally. Okay. So usually when interest level is low, that's when a breakup happens. All right. So to fix a relationship, to get back together, now you've watched the videos, you've learned about no contact. You want the dumper, the person who walked away, you want their interest level to creep back up. This is why you don't reach out to them. Because if there's a distance, right? If your ex is at a 4 and you're at 8 out of 10, well, that gap causes a lot of issues. They're not seeing you as an equal because you're obsessed with them. You want to spend time, you want to hang out, and they're not really excited about you. So that gap causes a lot of arguing, a lot of fighting, because you are going to be feeling hurt. Because when you call and they don't respond, it breaks your heart. When you text them and they leave you on red, it hurts you. But for them, you're just no longer a priority currently. And so you do no contact, you walk away, you never reach out to them, and you allow their interest level to creep back up. Now, it's important during no contact that your ex does all the initiation, right? So if they do not reach out to you, you don't say anything. But what happens, as we talked about in a lot of the other videos, is scarcity creates value. When they actually experience time without you, their interest goes up, and then they start to reach out. They start to send you text messages, or they start to watch your stories. They start to do things to show interest. Now, when I say stop doing no contact, this is the key part here. What I'm really saying is, at certain points, as your ex is coming closer to you, it's okay for you to pull them in. Now, what does that look like? So I was talking to a guy the other day, and his ex had reached out to him multiple times about several different subjects. And one of the things that I talk about on this channel, and I need you to understand this, I think people struggle with this. Just because your ex dumped you does not mean you stop doing your role in the dance. Meaning, as the man, for example, we're gonna take the man, your ex reaches out to you, it is on you to initiate a date. Because most times, even though she's the dumper, in her mind, reaching out to you, asking you about the day, and saying, sometimes they'll go as far as saying, oh, I was thinking about you, or oh, I miss you. I'm saying this because I've seen the text messages. And you end up just being cold because you think that no contact means that my ex has to do everything. She has to reach out, she has to ask to see me, she has to apologize for the breakup, and she has to ask to get back together. Some people actually think this. So when I say stop doing no contact, I'm saying that a little tongue-in-cheek. I need you to understand, I'm saying at certain key points, it's okay for you to show interest. And the biggest indicator when your ex is doing things to come closer to you, it's not on you to just stand still and wait for them to do everything. Now, this looks different for women who got dumped by men because you allow the guy to initiate and ask you out on dates or ask to spend time with you. And even with that, what I suggest for the ladies is, say he reaches out to you the first time. You respond, he's like, oh, I'm doing good. You have a little bit of a back and forth, 3, 4 text messages, 5 maximum. Okay, very like 2-3 text messages, 5 max. And he doesn't take the initiative. He doesn't ask you out. I think I just had a plane flying over me, but anyway, he doesn't take the initiative. He doesn't ask you out. You leave the conversation. Hey, good hearing from you. Keep in touch. Okay, you can do that 3 times, 3 separate check-ins. He reaches out to you on 3 separate days. This may take a week. This may take 2 weeks. It may take a month. It just depends on where his interest level is at. And so after the 3rd time, it's okay for the ladies, even though you got dumped, to initiate and say, hey, why don't we grab a drink? This is the one time you would do this, okay? Because ultimately you want the guy to be doing the pursuing, okay? So that's the subtle difference. For the fellas, for the guys, if she reaches out to you for any reason, just initiate and set a date. That is your only goal. It is not time to fix the relationship, and a lot of times she is not going to apologize for anything. And if you don't take the initiative, what ends up happening is that you miss an opportunity. You have an interaction, like the client I'm thinking about, he knows himself if he's watching this. She was showing very high interest. She was showing very high interest. And she was showing very high interest, and he didn't do anything about it. All right, he just he responded a couple of times, and he's like, all right, good talking to you, and he left. All right, so it's just one of those days, I guess. So we ran out of memory, so I had to change the memory card, so bear with me. So this is gonna be the 2nd cut. I like to take the videos, but because I'm speaking from the heart. A lot of these videos, they're not scripted. I have an idea of what I want to talk about, and I just turn the camera on and I start talking. So bear with me for the few cuts we have in this video. Anyway, the guy that I'm thinking about, he missed an opportunity. He missed an opportunity because he was expecting the girl, the lady, to do the pursuing. As long as they are the ones initiating with you, as long as they're the ones showing interest, it's okay at certain points to reciprocate. So when I say stop doing no contact, understand I'm just saying that a little bit tongue in cheek. All I'm saying is, even though generally you want your ex to do 100% of the initiating, in key moments, it's okay for you to take the lead and initiate. So I know what you're thinking. You're probably like, Coach, okay, she dumped me. She broke up with me. She has to, beg. She has to apologize. She has to say she wants to get back together. And let me tell you why this is a mistake. The huge mistake here is that you're focused on the wrong thing. And a lot of people struggle with this. You are hyper-focused on relationship. You are hyper-focused on getting back together. And while that is the end goal, if that is your mindset, I'm telling you now, it's going to be almost impossible for you to attract your ex back, because now you've taken them off. You've taken them off of the expectations you should have of them to be able to get into a relationship with you, if that makes sense. Your ex is also supposed to be on trial. Your ex is supposed to be showing you through their actions over time that they deserve to be with you. Now, of course, in this moment, I'm sure you care about them. I'm sure you love them. I'm sure you're just trying to fix things. But a lot of times, when you're hyper-focused on getting back into a relationship, you tend to say the wrong things. You end up giving your ex an ultimatum, and in most cases, they are just not ready. They're not ready to commit. What brings your ex back, think about what we were talking about earlier, is the interest level. So how do you raise the interest of someone who, left the relationship? It's by spending quality time together. doing fun things and fun adventures together. Kind of similar to the beginning of the dating phase. Doing the very things that got you obsessed with each other in the beginning. When you're focused on relationship, when you're focused on giving ultimatums, one, you end up turning your ex off because you're forcing them to make a commitment when they're not ready. But two, no contact was portraying you as someone with all these options and this high value. Why are you so willing to give all your value away so quickly? Why not be patient? Okay, this is the big distinction. Now, other things are going to happen. This is a simple example when they reach out to you, but another injuncture where you want to think about, because I talk about not rushing commitment, specifically for the ladies, for example. You don't want to say, hey, when are we going to get back together? So let's say your ex starts initiating. They start asking you out on dates. They start wanting to spend more time. Okay. It's okay for you to show interest or show higher interest or initiate when your ex is starting to try to push through your boundaries. Now, what does that mean? Simply think about it as when your ex is starting to ask for relationship benefits, it's okay, assuming they've been pursuing you. Now, if you're the one that's always calling, always texting, always asking to spend time together, and then you say, hey, when are we gonna fix this? That's out of sequence because your ex hasn't shown any interest. But if he has been pursuing you, asking you on dates, now he's wanting to move closer, he's wanting to spend more time together, he's wanting to be more physically intimate, it's okay for you to say, hey, like, I like how things have been, I'm enjoying how things are progressing, but for me, I want us to get to that point again. I'm open to that, but I'm not willing to do that without some kind of clarity in our relationship. So what does that look like for you? Okay, very important. Now, the last thing I'm gonna say on this. So a lot of times, again, you're afraid because you're focused on the relationship. So you're afraid of your ex rejecting you. You haven't lost anything. You haven't broken no contact if they were the ones initiating with you and chasing you. All right, but in these key moments, so that we can move things forward to where you want it to go, it's okay to show your hand a little bit. Now, the biggest moment is when you do this, when you have to initiate to get the ball rolling. What is their reaction? If their immediate reaction is to say no, to retreat, to show a lack of interest, like, I don't think so. The biggest thing is, how do you react? If you're maintaining that you're a high value person, you have options, you don't have to chase, when they withdraw, when they say no to your offer, and you're not offering them a relationship, just to be clear, but you're helping things move forward. So you say, hey, let's go grab drinks. They backpedal, oh, they're busy. It's always about how do you react. And you say, all right, well, hey, you know, if you change your mind, let me know. You're not angry. You're not upset. You're indifferent. All right. But then you go back into no contact. All right, well, let me know. You change your mind, you know, enjoy the rest of your day and goodbye. That's it. No anger, no frustration. You're just asking for what you deserve since they keep knocking at your door. Does that make sense? I hope that was clear. I'm going to put this video together and see how it comes out with all the cuts. This might be a little bit of a long one, but bear with me. I hope this adds value to you. So to be clear, you're technically not breaking no contact, but I'm saying if your ex keeps knocking at the door, it's okay for you to open it. It's okay for you to say, hey, who is it? Or, you know, what do you want? All right? Anyway, if you appreciate the video, please do me a favor, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the future videos that I put out. If you want to talk to me about your situation, you can click the first link in the description and we can talk about it. I look forward to working with you. I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.